My focus in Bundok Eskrima is less about training for a duel with matched weapons and more about training for our modern world, where you'll either be the armed attacker or the unarmed attacker. Now, right here, we're using the focus mitts to train to be the armed attacker, and we're doing some natural weapon striking along with hitting with the blunt impact weapon there. This to me is a unique focus. I don't see a lot of Escrimadors doing this kind of stuff. However, the skills they gain through all the different drills and stuff is transferable to this. So I'm not saying we're doing things better than them. Our targets that we focus on are mainly anything that a blunt impact weapon can break when we're using a blunt impact weapon, that is. So being a headhunter, if you've got a heavy stick, is a good idea if you're fighting for survival. Now, there's no way that I can think of where using a weapon is appropriate unless you're in fear of your life. Force multipliers used indiscriminately will get you in trouble. Now, when it comes to practical striking, there's very few drills out there that work as well as hitting targets. Here I'm working the heavy bag. This is so important. This is much more important than amazing and beautiful flow drills, although they're a lot of fun and they keep me going back for more. But this is very practical. One of our main adages is this: if you're gonna hit someone, hit them hard. There's no point in hitting someone light, because that just makes a hero out of your attacker and a victim out of you. These flow drills are a lot of fun. They allow us to confuse our hands and apply disarms while in motion. It is hard looking from the outside to see the practicality of these drills. However, when you play with them, you start to find that you're building skills that are usable under pressure. And you do use them while fighting and sparring. It's also very important to note that flow drills like this, or partner drills, freeform drills, allow us to train often without having to worry about injury. If we're only sparring, only hitting each other with contact, we'll constantly be injured and bruised. That is an important part of training and is a fun part of training, but it can't be your only way to train, or your longevity will be very hampered. As you play, the pace gets picked up, the resistance gets picked up, so it almost becomes like sparring, but not quite. Like I said, this is one of my favorite ways to train. I could do this for hours and not get bored. It's just so much fun. You get very creative in this type of training as well. So there you can see I got the position for a throw, but I didn't take it. Several reasons, but the most important one is we're a couple of old guys, so we can't handle being thrown on the ground. So we don't really do that kind of stuff anymore. Not very often anyway. Our recovery time is too great. Now we're doing scenario-based drills where we feed one angle and then counter with some movement, some strikes and some movement. Get in, throw some knees, get the side clinch. Get a disarm. Here I am training with one of my Muay Thai students. Now, he's more or less sparring with me. He's not trying to rush the weapon right now. He's not committing like he would if he was in fear for his life. And you can see that at that range, if it was a real stick, I would just be picking him apart. It gives you such an advantage to have a weapon. If that was a machete, it would be even worse. You have to make a decision. You need to either close the gap and try and get control of the weapon, or be far, far away. Now, sometimes when you close the gap, you might want to stay in there and strike. Other times you may want to throw them and run. And there's always the option to disarm if you know disarms. But this kind of play is a lot of fun, and it's experimental. We're trying to find out, some tactics. Experimentation is going to be a lot of what we focus on in the Bundok side of my Eskrima training. And out of experimentation, I hope we find tactics and skills that we can use and apply in the real world if we ever have to. But mostly, we're going to have a hell of a lot of fun and have a lot of laughs. Because in the end, if your training's not fun, you won't stick to it. So have a good time, you guys.